Hello. Sorry, girls. When my phone gets filled up with memory-wise, it cuts me off. So this last part won't be recorded because I'm all full up. So, as I was saying, 1 in 15 will produce, on average, an elite within your team. 67 personally sponsored means that you will become a black status on average. Mine was 80, so I personally sponsored 80 ladies and then I hit black status. So these are only averages, but hey, it's a good place to start, isn't it? The average PRS of a black status is 2k plus. So that's because they're constantly working their business. So they're consistent and they're persistent. So that brings in those sales. They party, that kind of thing. The average newly sponsored presenter by a black status is 3 per month. So on average, a black status presenter will bring in at least 3 personally sponsored a month. If not higher. And what this means, and there's a couple of girls on the team that are suffering with this right now, so I think it's a really good time to talk about it, is you need to build wide and you need to build deep as well. So if you have one sponsor and she's an absolute rock star and she builds a massive team underneath you, you have in the compensation plan what we call circle cells. And we don't talk about it a huge amount because it can get confusing. But your circle cells don't include a rock star who goes green or above. So it means that you've always got so it means that no one can piggyback off the back of somebody else. So if somebody in your team goes black status, it doesn't mean that you'll automatically become black status. It means that you still have to do your own hard work. So you always need to be building, because people that are elite kind of break away and you still get paid on them, but they break away and it's not included in the bit that you've got to do. So you always want to build, you always want to keep sponsoring, and you always want to be building. If you've got between like pinks and blues, if you've got 5 pinks and blues and you're elite, so we're talking long term now, then you will be sorted. So you always want to be working on your pinks and blues. And of course your blues go on to be your greens. So you kind of work it up like a ladder, kind of. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to touch on that really quickly. And then I wanted to finish with my two top, these are the biggies. These are the best numbers I'm going to share with you tonight. They're huge. So the first one is the numbers 5, 3, 3. Okay. These are magic numbers. And we're talking about the Younique world now. If you bring in 500 PRS per month, you hold 3 parties, whether it be online, whether it be at home, in a month, and you bring in 3 personally sponsored per month, and you do that consistently, and then you help your team do that consistently. So if on a whole we all do this 5-3-3 formula, and we keep repeating it, and we keep repeating it, and we keep repeating it, okay? If you do that, you will reach green elite status within 6 months with that duplicating. So in the new year, we're really, as a team, gonna nail this 5-3-3. It's gonna be a real team focus. The two, I can't speak for Sherry, but Whitney and Bree, who are black status level 2, and Whitney's on the wall of influence, so that means that she is a millionaire from Younique. They both work this formula with their teams. It just goes all the way down. So you can never argue with numbers and you can never argue with success. So those magic numbers, 500 PRS, 3 parties, whether online or at home. And the thing with those parties is 80% of them probably aren't going to qualify. There's another statistic for you. 80% probably aren't going to qualify or produce sales. It's irrelevant. It's all about exposure, and that's what that does, is it exposes you to multiple people, and it snowballs. So 500 PRS, 3 parties, 3 personally sponsored. And those 3 personally sponsored that you bring in, you encourage them to do 500, 3 parties, 3 personally sponsored. And we know that they're not going to all do that, but you know, we just keep going there. So I just saw 2 questions I really do want to answer. So repeat them for me, because I want to just leave you with my last number before I answer questions. So my final favourite number and my final favourite quote is a 12-minute mile is exactly the same as a 6-minute mile. And you hear me say it so many times, but I think it's so important because we get so caught up in wanting to do our absolute best. But this is not a race. This is a journey. And it really doesn't matter how you get there as long as you get there, because it is exactly the same. So when you have struggles, when you have times, you know, where it's frustrating and all of those things, ploughing through that, because when you hit, if your goal is to be elite green, it won't ever matter the amount of foundations that were out of stock when you wanted to order them. That will just pale to it. You just won't even remember it. That won't be the thing that defines your journey. So it's, you know, I love that quote because I think it's so important to all of us to remember that a 12-minute mile is just the same as a 6-minute mile. So that's me and all my numbers done. I feel like Carol Vorderman now. So that's for all the people in the UK know what countdown is. I will now take your questions. I will get a pen ready in case they all come at once, and then I can tackle them one at a time. Right. 57 Facebook friends. Right. You need to sponsor 67. On average, a black status presenter has sponsored 67 people. That's what that statistic is on average. I sponsored 80 before I went black. But on average, it's 67. Tanya, personal development books. Hannah did a whole Periscope on this, which I have the recording for. So I haven't put it actually under our Periscope thing in our university, but I will do. I'm going to do that afterwards. So, but that's a really good one to watch because she goes through books. But The Secret, you're right. Definitely you need to start with The Secret because that is all about attitude. If you want something for this industry, Beach Money by Jordan Adler, How to Influence and Influence People, and Building an Empire by Brian Carruthers. So those are industry, like specific to this industry. Personal development in general, though, definitely Secret. And then the magic, and then the power. Facebook friends, whoever asked that about Facebook friends, there's whole recordings and trainings on how to add and increase your Facebook friends. So if you want to drop me a message on, you know, Facebook, that one, just to remind me, because I'll forget the minute I get off of here, just drop me a message saying I asked about the Facebook friends, and I will find those recordings for you and point you in the right direction. You've got such an opportunity in Germany, babe. I'm so excited for you. So because it's so new over there. There isn't a black status presenter in Germany yet. the first Black status presenter gets a $10,000 check. So yeah, there is huge opportunity in Germany, and the UK shows what's happened kind of in a year. You asked, I think, about colour promotions, that if you go down, you never lose your colour status. So I will forever be a Black status presenter, regardless of what happens in a month. But if as a team we had a really tough December, then what might happen is I might only get paid as a green status presenter, but I will forever be a Black status presenter. So you never ever lose your positioning within the company. Month on month, you get paid at what you achieve. So and yeah, really, there's no Black status presenter I think there's green. I think that's the highest. I'd have to double check. But yeah, it's such a new, fresh market. It's really, really exciting. Yeah, green status. Yeah. So, any more questions, my lovelies? I think I should do a Periscope on lip stain. It's just so good, isn't it? No, pink, no, not on any level. Not on any level, you don't fall back. So once you achieve yellow, you stay yellow forever. Once you achieve pink, you stay as pink, but you possibly may get paid as yellow 1 month if your team had a bad month. Danielle, did you ask a question, babe? Sorry, I missed that because I was reading between. Thursday, you'll find out about the Black Friday deals. And what else did someone ask me? I saw another question. Oh, quibble over the kit. I don't. If people quibble over the price of the kit, I don't. So I suggest ways they can raise the money, and I leave that to them. I put them in my Not For Now book so that they can then, I can then follow them up at a later date, because people's circumstances change. So 16, and we see it, don't we? We see it all the time. So you're most welcome. We see it all the time where, people say they're really, really skint, and then, they've got a iPhone. I don't even know what the latest iPhone is. I'm so old. 6, is it? And 50 million channels on Sky. And in regards to the benefits question, normally it affects it positively because of working tax credits. But what I suggest they always do is that they go to the tax office or the benefits people, or they email them, or whatever they do, and they say that they're thinking of doing sorry, just writing that question down. They're thinking of doing Avon. I say use Avon because the benefits office will know what that means, and then they can find out how it will affect it. Like one lady, she was 20p off. They were going to take 20p off of her, and another lady, it was something like she would be £20 a month better off. So it's really dependent, because there's working tax credits, child tax credits, income support, maybe housing benefit. There's loads of different varieties. So if they just say, thinking of doing Avon, how might it affect it? Because sometimes you can work so many hours, sometimes you can earn so much. And then once they've got an answer to that question, get them to come back to you, and then we can go from there then to manage that. Danielle, have you watched my video on doing home parties, my darling? You're most welcome. I will send you in regards to Facebook friends, I will send out again the recording on about how to add Facebook friends. Perfect place to start, my darling. So my average party is around £400, £600. So I did a half-hour recording of exactly how I run my parties. So that would be the perfect place for you to start. And you might really pick up some great tips from that, hopefully. Let me know. I know Sharon found it really useful. Hey, Hey, Kat. Oh, there's our new girl. How many black status presenters are there? 110 or 120? Some have achieved it this month, so I think one about 120. No problem, Kat. Danielle, I said go watch that video, babe. So my average party is 400 to 600. So, and in that video, I do from start to finish what I do at my parties, explain it all. So I think you'll find that that's really useful. It is on my YouTube, yeah. Kizzy Harvey, loads of videos, scroll through them. I know that was quite intense because, yes, of course, I'll repost it. I should bump it up at the top of university. Don't forget to use the search function in university because you'll often find things there. So, yes, you will. 100%. There's another statistic for you. So, yeah, I know it was quite intense because it was numbers. But I really wanted to hopefully help you see how everything is, you know, has got a place mathematically. And often there's no need to have emotion involved because we're just, you know, working our way through the averages. So, yeah. Have a wonderful evening. I'm off to have tea. No idea what to have. So what I'll do, I might type these up so that you've got them. If you search Fast Start, then you'll find the amount for Fast Start in university. So there should be a little magnifying glass now at the top of all your groups. So go and search different keywords and it should help bring up stuff for you. If there isn't, then download the app called Groups and you can search through there. There definitely is a magnifying glass. Okay, thank you, my lovelies, for joining me. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Sorry about the cut off. See you soon. Oh, hold on. It took me an hour now to switch off broadcast.